Hello everyone, welcome to Top's Mysteries and Oddities, the place where we dive into the strangest and most fascinating mysteries from around the world. Today, in the very first video of our channel, we're counting down the top 10 mysterious and strange events that science can't explain. These are stories that will send chills down your spine, phenomena that leave scientists scratching their heads, and secrets that might never be unraveled. Are you ready to step into a world full of wonder and the unknown? If you are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video from us, and let's get started on this incredible journey together. Kicking things off at number 10, we have the mysterious noise known as the hum. In certain parts of the world, like the town of Taos in New Mexico, people have reported hearing a strange, low-frequency humming sound, almost like the distant rumble of an engine echoing through the air. What's bizarre is that no one has been able to pinpoint where it's coming from, even with the most advanced equipment. Some believe it's a sound emanating from deep within the earth, while others speculate it could be linked to extraterrestrial activity or even something supernatural. To this day, the hum remains a perplexing mystery, leaving those who hear it curious, confused, and sometimes downright unsettled. Have you ever heard a strange noise you couldn't explain? Moving on to number 9, we have the Green Children of Woolpit. Back in the 12th century, in a small village called Woolpit in England, two children, a boy and a girl, suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and their skin was green, like the color of leaves. They wore odd clothing, spoke a language no one could understand, and for days, they refused to eat anything except raw green beans. The boy eventually died from exhaustion, but the girl survived, slowly learning English and sharing an unbelievable tale. She claimed they came from a place called St. Martin's Land, a world with no sunlight where everything was green. Was this just a fanciful folktale passed down through generations, or could it be evidence of another realm? No one knows for sure, but this story continues to spark debate and wonder to this day. At number 8, we have the Anjikuni Lake disappearance. On a cold winter day in 1930 near Lake Anjikuni in Canada, a fur trapper approached an Inuit village looking for shelter. What he found instead chilled him to the bone. The entire village was completely deserted, not a single soul in sight. The homes were intact, pots of stew were still simmering over fires, clothes hung on lines, but there wasn't a footprint leading away from the village. Even stranger, he discovered 7 sled dogs buried in a small grave, starved to death despite food being nearby. Over 30 people had vanished as if they'd evaporated from the face of the earth. No signs of struggle, no clues left behind. Some whisper of a curse, others point to alien abductions. But what really happened to the people of Anjikuni? That question remains unanswered, haunting us nearly a century later. Coming in at number 7 is the Dancing Plague of 1518. In the summer of 1518 in Strasbourg, France, a woman named Frau Trophia stepped into the street and began dancing uncontrollably. No one knows why, but within days, dozens of others joined her, and soon, over 400 people were caught up in this bizarre frenzy. They danced day and night without eating or sleeping, some collapsing and dying from exhaustion or heart failure. The local authorities were so baffled that they even hired musicians to play, hoping it would somehow stop the madness, but it didn't work. Modern scientists suggest it might have been caused by ergot poisoning, a hallucinogenic mold that grows on rye, or perhaps a mass psychological breakdown known as hysteria. But why did an entire crowd fall into such a wild, unstoppable trance? The true cause remains a mystery lost to time. At number 6, we have the Shroud of Turin. This is a piece of linen over 14 feet long, bearing the faint image of a man with wounds resembling those of a crucifixion. Many believe it's the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, making it one of the most debated artifacts in history. Scientists have studied it for centuries, using everything from carbon dating to microscopic analysis, yet they can't figure out how the image appeared on the fabric. There's no trace of dye, no paint, no materials that people of that era could have used to create it. Some call it a miracle, others argue it's an elaborate hoax or work of genius artistry. What do you think about this ancient enigma? Next up, at number 5, is the moving rocks of Death Valley. In the scorching desert of Death Valley, California, massive rocks weighing hundreds of pounds seem to slide across the ground on their own, leaving long trails behind them as if they're alive. No one has ever caught them in the act of moving, but the evidence is undeniable. Recently, researchers found that in winter, Thin sheets of ice form under the rocks, and strong winds push them along when conditions are just right. But not everyone buys this explanation. Some rocks are simply too heavy, and the conditions don't always match up. Could there be something more mysterious at play beneath the desert floor? It's a puzzle that keeps us guessing. At number 4, we have the Baltic Sea anomaly. In 2011, a team of Swedish divers exploring the depths of the Baltic Sea stumbled upon something incredible: a giant, disc-shaped object about 200 feet wide, resting on the ocean floor. It had strange, precise features, including what looked like a staircase leading inside, almost like a sunken spaceship. As they got closer, their navigation gear and cameras started malfunctioning. Many believe it's a crashed UFO, while scientists argue it's just a natural rock formation. But its perfect shape and the eerie interference it causes make it hard to dismiss as ordinary. This underwater mystery continues to captivate imaginations around the world. Coming in at number 3 are the fairy circles of Namibia. Across the arid deserts of Namibia, thousands of barren circles dot the landscape amidst patches of dry grass. Ranging from a few feet to over 100 feet in diameter, these circles are completely devoid of vegetation, as if an invisible barrier keeps life from growing inside them. Local people call them fairy circles and believe they are the footprints of gods or spirits. Scientists have tossed around ideas like termite activity or toxic gases seeping from the ground, but no single theory explains them all perfectly. These hauntingly beautiful patterns remain one of nature's most enchanting unsolved riddles. At number 2, we have spontaneous human combustion. Over the centuries, hundreds of cases have been reported of people suddenly bursting into flames with no apparent source of ignition. One famous case happened in 1951, when Mary Reeser in the US was found reduced to ashes in her apartment, yet the chair she sat in and the room around her were barely touched. It takes extreme heat to cremate a human body, so what could spark such a fire? Some suggest a supernatural force, others point to a rare chemical reaction within the body itself. Science has yet to provide a solid answer, leaving this phenomenon both terrifying and utterly baffling. And finally, taking the top spot at number 1, is the Bermuda Triangle mystery. Stretching between Bermuda, Miami, and San Juan in the Atlantic Ocean, this infamous region is known as the graveyard of ships and planes. Over 1,000 people have disappeared here in the last century, along with countless vessels and aircraft, leaving no trace behind. One of the most famous incidents was Flight 19 in 1945, when 5 U.S. military planes vanished during a routine mission, and even the rescue planes sent to find them never returned. Scientists have proposed explanations like rogue waves, magnetic anomalies, or massive methane bubbles rising from the seafloor. But none of these fully account for every case, and the Bermuda Triangle remains the ultimate symbol of the unexplainable in our modern world. And there you have it, our countdown of the top 10 mysterious and strange events that science can't explain. These stories don't just amaze us, they remind us how much of our world is still shrouded in mystery, waiting to be explored. Which of these events fascinated you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to Tops Mysteries and Oddities, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to catch our next adventure. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.